Hello and welcome to the Sisters for Fitness Wellness Show. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. It's Sisters and Brothers for Fitness. Today we've got Lamont Brown and you are with Swaliga Productions.
Swaliga Foundation.
Foundation. So Swaliga, what you do is you use STEM to encourage young folks. In what ways?
So that's a great question. First, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And we do that in a lot of ways. We use the arts. So we're empowering these young people through things that they're already interested in, like music, dance, photography, different creative outlets. And we use that to teach them science, tech, engineering, and math. We put the A in STEM, and we call it STEAM.
So how did you become interested in STEM?
So music has always been a passion for me. I'm a music lover. I'm a writer, producer. I'm an MC, the STEAM MC, the best. And ever since I was younger, that passion just developed into me doing music professionally. I graduated high school. I went to Flowers, which is a science and tech school.
Yes.
And I actually had a record deal. Like at that point, I was getting paid to perform. I was in a gospel rap group. We were pretty consistent, and then for whatever reason, the deal fell through. So I had to pivot. My parents were like, all right, well, you got to figure something out. And I was like, I'll just go and get an engineering degree in the meantime. And then
you'll just go get it.
Now, if somebody had told me, nobody told me how hard that was actually going to be. It was more than a notion. So I struggled. It was a struggle, but I found myself at Drexel University. And I say this all the time because I want students and other people to know this. Like, I was on academic probation. It wasn't all butterflies and rainbows. Like, it was actually very difficult, and I was off task dealing with a lot. But what happened, it led me to meet somebody that spoke into my life that kind of changed my trajectory. And they were like, you're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be giving back to your community more. Like, I know you have that in you. And
was this a teacher?
So ironically enough, this was a probation officer. So I was in a courthouse in Philadelphia, almost in tears as this complete stranger that didn't have to say anything to me was essentially speaking into my life, speaking life into me when I was in a very low place. And I'll never forget it. That was 4/20/2011, April 20th. And fast forward, I was able to graduate, got my degree in architectural engineering. And when I came back to DC, I was born in DC, grew up in PG County, I immediately saw the disparity, the gap, specifically in math and science with young people that look like me. And I realized it was a lot of how it was taught, right? These are some of the smartest, most creative kids in the world, but there was a disconnect with those skills. So I wanted to give what I had learned at Drexel, because I had valuable information, but I knew I didn't really want to be a traditional engineer. But I wanted to give that information to the young people, and I did that through the arts, because that's a language. Like,
yes, it is.
Universal language.
It is a universal language. So how did you come up with the foundation?
So fast forward, as soon as I graduated in 2012, I came back to DC and I started the Swaliga Foundation. Swaliga is a tribal word. It means passion, derived from the island of St. Martin. It is a way that we ignite the passion in these young people. And it's like, that's really the main thing, is getting them to see that they do have a purpose, and that the things that they're passionate about, the things that they love to do, can actually translate into a successful career and something that can help them feed their family. So this has been a labor of love. I never planned on starting a foundation or being a teacher or anything like that. I just wanted to do music, but the need is so great, and this work that we're doing was birthed out of these young people really having a thirst for knowledge and really just needing support and access to a lot of these different opportunities with STEAM education.
So you have an event coming up. Tell me about it.
I'm super excited. This is our 9th annual STEAMtheBlock Party. So STEAMtheBlock is the name of the curriculum that I designed. It was the first STEAM hip-hop curriculum ever created over a decade ago. And this block party is a culmination. It's a celebration. We'll be at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Southeast DC, 12 noon. It's live entertainment. There's music, there's food, there's prizes, giveaways, and of course, interactive STEAM stations. We got over 30 interactive STEAM stations where you could learn and do everything from virtual reality to 3D printing to cybersecurity to drones.
So they'll actually get hands-on experience doing this?
Hands-on experience. And what's even better, we've reached out to a lot of our partners in the region that are aligned in this mission with us. Some of the top tech and engineering companies like Best Buy, like Google, they'll be there, right? And a lot of these stations, what I love is that, yeah, it'll be cool things to try out, but it's also a direct connection to careers and opportunities and internships. So definitely something for everybody there, cool things for people to check out, and it's absolutely free. That's the best part.
So let's talk a little bit more about your background and what got you interested. Had your parents told you about engineering, or how did that come about?
Engineering was always there. I think it started in high school. I was in some engineering classes. I was always good at math and science. But it wasn't until I really got to Drexel that I kind of understood the field a lot more. And I tell people all the time, it wasn't really, like, I don't remember all the equations, I don't remember all the formulas, but I learned how to think like an engineer. And that made me a problem solver.
Well, what made you learn to think as a musician?
I think the two go hand in hand, because when you're a musician, there's a certain element of freedom and a certain element of creativity. So, like, when I'm playing the piano, if I'm playing a piece that's already been played, or I'm learning a piece, my mind is working differently. Or when I'm just freestyling or kind of just having a jam session. And that's why there's research that shows kids that study music or play an instrument, their brain develops better chemistry between the left and right hemisphere, because you're using all of those different auditory, kinetic muscles at the same time, right? So I feel like that musical training and that skill of me playing an instrument definitely translates, because it's all patterns. It's all patterns. So once I was able to get into engineering school, learning how to solve problems, I realized how that connects to so many things we do in everyday life. Like, our real world is about solving problems, big or small, you know?
So you started off playing the piano, so that's the instrument. How old were you when you started that?
I started taking piano lessons when I was about 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, classically trained piano lessons. So I learned how to read music, and then it just stuck with me. That developed into music production, learning how to use software like Machine and Studio One, and learning how to record my own music, because I didn't really have money for studio time, right? So I had to learn how to do it myself, and that just kind of progressed into what I'm doing now.
Well, tell me about your music.
So my music is what I call STEAM hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, I developed this years ago, nearly a decade ago, as a way to express these complex subjects like physics, like atoms and different things that we study through music, through hip hop. And it's not your traditional, like, educational music isn't new, right? Like, we all learned our ABCs through a song. That's like probably the most popular educational song. But I think this is different from a lot of like educational rap or music, because there's an intrinsic soul to it. It's a story, right? It's not just regurgitating information that you could just Google. It really connects it to real world. And the production, a lot of it I do myself, as well as with my team. Shout out to Ole Entertainment Entity. And a lot of this music is like sound effects, and we're literally taking you from the bottom of the ocean to learning what it's like to be an atom moving through the city, to learning what it's like to be a light wave. You know, we are light energy. So all of these experiences come through sonically in the music, and it's something like you've never heard. And
the vocal part is rap?
The vocal part is rap. This is real hip hop. I have real bars. Like, this is something that you can't be duplicated. That's why I go by the name Mr. IMAG, the STEAM MC. Yeah, I have gotten to the point where my style and my cadence is unique. And that's one of the things that I love. It's not like anything else.
Now, I asked you off air, and I'm going to ask you on air now. So, how does that resonate with the kids when they're used to hearing rap songs talking about what diamonds I have, how much money I make, the big booty woman at the club? I mean, how do you get them to listen when you're talking about something different?
Let's get to the point of the matter. Yes, we are made up of atoms, though clearly we're not the same. Yeah, I'm cut from a different strain, and you could tell by the way we shine. My people have been shining for so long. With all of that negative energy, I could tell that you ain't got enough protons in the middle of your core, so I'm gone. Yeah, I'ma say deuce, but to find more atoms like me, make a molecule, will be tight like glue with my neutrons too. Hold it together, yeah, me and my crew. Swaliga, baby, been putting a set on. Chemical bond like we sharing electrons. Worldwide till you get the reception we get, then you ain't ever met one like me, and I'm made of lightning. Likely it was hard describing, so most of the time, look, I don't even try. So that's an example.
Wow, and you, of course, are going to do that again before we wrap up this.
Thank you. So I wanted to give you an example because you make a good point, right? Like in hip hop, what's popular right now, we're flooded with all of this nonsense of like violence, or I gotta make myself sound tough because I can have a gun and act like I'm killing somebody, or I got this big booty girl, or I got these diamonds on, right? They hide behind all of this superficial stuff because a lot of these people have no substance. They're weak, to be honest, and there's a fear that they're projecting. And our young people, they can't really tell the difference a lot of times. To them, it seems real, so that it seems cool. But what I've noticed when I am around, or like if you put the two side by side, you can't fake authenticity, right? It's only so long fake thugs can pretend. That's what the line is. So what I do is just be as authentic and as real with them as possible. And the bars, like that was 16 bars. You just learned about atoms, about molecules, about chemical and covalent bonds without even realizing it, right? Because the authenticity and the intention is there, and the kids can feel that. So they resonate with it, and plus I got flow, so that helps.
Also, is this for girls too?
Of course.
Because we see that a lot of the time when we're talking about that type of music, though you do have some female rappers who are very strong, a lot of the time it's a male-dominated thing. So are you reaching out to young girls as well?
Absolutely. We have tons of young girls in our program. Matter of fact, over the 1,000 or so students that Swaliga works with over the course of the year, about 50% of them are young ladies. And they're super talented and creative. There's no difference between how we present the information to them or anybody else. And what we've realized is that not only do they absorb the information, but some of these girls have bars too. Like, shout out to Fly Zaya, right, who be performing at the Block Party, 12-year-old MC, and she's rapping circles around a lot of these other little rappers that you see on TV. So I think it's not even about boys and girls anymore. It's about young people that are invested in growing and learning something new and becoming something more. And we see that all the time. So we have lots of girls in our program that do well.
So I know this event that you're doing is not the only thing you do. Tell us more about the organization and what other things you do.
So Swaliga Foundation, I'm proud to say we're in our 12th year. We've been doing this quite a while. We've impacted more than 10,000 youth and families right here in Washington, D.C. and around the world. We do that through after-school programs. We have about 8 schools specifically in D.C. right now where we do programming and resources after school. We also do cultural exchange programs. Since 2016, we've been taking students internationally to places like South Africa, India. We're actually taking a group this Sunday. We actually leave to take a group to South Africa again. And that's a part of our cultural exchange where they're learning STEAM education and connecting with their peers internationally, which is so important. And then lastly is free community events like the STEAMtheBlock Party on August the 10th. That's coming up. All of these are touch points and ways that we present and provide STEAM education and resources.
Where do you want to go from here? You're doing so much now. Where do you want to go? How do you want to grow?
That's a great question. I think it's taken 12 years, but we finally understand our value add and how we're able to be the most effective at helping these young people. And at this point, yeah, we're in DC, we're in like 10 other countries that we're supporting different schools, but we need support. The reality is we don't get a lot of support from corporations or even grants, that we should be getting. A lot of it has come from grassroots, aunties, grandmothers, people supporting like, I want my kid needs this information. We need more of that so that I see us being in every school in DC and Prince George's County, and then branching out from there so that we can give access to more young people. Because the reality is we're in a very small window where if we can get our kids interested in these new industries like quantum computing, like blockchain, like AI, these different industries that have just boomed, if we can get them involved, they can now take over as we move further into this century. So I see Swaliga being that bridge, that access point to a lot of people that they tried to write off or forget about, especially when we talk about moving forward in our society.
Now, I'm old school, so you know what's up and coming, and like you said, these things that are booming right now. What would you suggest for young people to look into? What's going to be the hot new thing that they're going to be able to look into and say, hey, I can make a difference in this area, whether it's AI, or what do you think are the hot areas?
So I named a few. These are like what I call the reset button. Like when the internet was introduced and everything just kind of reset. It's happening multiple, like 4 and 5 times now. I said quantum computing. So now we have computers that can, just quickly, no, because a lot of people don't know. So we have computers now that are so fast, they have to be kept at like sub-zero, like freezing temperatures. And it can do things that you can put 1,000 computers in the room and it wouldn't be able to move that fast. So we're able to get new data, new information, and run different simulations. And that is gonna continue to develop as it becomes more economically viable to do that. But quantum computing, right, is just a super fast computer. And then you got things like blockchain. A lot of people know that as Bitcoin.
Yes,
or like
yes.
a lot of these cryptocurrencies.
Yes.
That's just the money side, but the reality is that the technology itself is called blockchain, and that allows for information to be stored in new and different ways. So it's a lot of applications, not just money, not just crypto. And the more we get into that, we'll talk about that. But there's also AI, you name artificial intelligence. That one alone, we don't know exactly. I'm not gonna lie to you and say
scary, Lamont.
It can be. And I think what's gonna happen, the more we get into this age of artificial intelligence, interpersonal skills, creativity, a lot of those things that are harder to duplicate are gonna be more valuable. So what I always encourage our students to do, we don't know, some of the jobs don't even exist yet.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
we don't know what we don't know.
We don't know. So what I encourage them to do, and what we do in our program with Swaliga, we teach them how to solve problems. That's been the recurring thing, because no matter what industry you go into, you have to solve problems, whether it's creative or scientific. These are the things that are going to be transition no matter what the society looks like, and then build skills, right? Whether it's, okay, I'm gonna learn how to run this computer program, or I'm gonna learn how to sew, or any type of skill that you can learn and translate. That is something that's gonna have value as you move into your future and as you grow.
Now, are we talking about, do they need a skill through college? What would be the way of learning these skills that lead to taking over these jobs that are coming?
That's a great question. The beauty of it now, we live in the information age where you honestly are not required to go to college. Recently, you had some of the top Fortune 500 tech companies come out and say that they don't require a college degree, which is new. That's never been the case before. But it's good, again, what I mentioned, there's a window now because a lot of our students aren't traditionally set up to go to a 4-year university, right? But they're intelligent and they can gain these skills through either online courses. A lot of universities have free programs now that you can study some of the industries that I just named, even things like cybersecurity and other opportunities as well. So I think it's more so about finding what you're really interested in, because there's so many avenues, but it's not limited to college anymore. It's really just about what certifications and skills you can get that you can then communicate to the outside world.
Now, you mentioned you have something coming out musically?
Yes, so I'm so excited. My next album, Steam the Block, Book of Nature. This is where I'm delving into natural science, everything from atoms to light to water. All of these things I'm communicating through hip hop. And this is something that I coined STEAM hip hop, because this is how we're teaching our students. This is how we're really leveling up and pushing the culture forward in terms of what's cool, in terms of what represents us, you know, because a lot of the rap I see and a lot of the hip hop stuff, it's not even that good, to be honest with you. And it's perpetuating this cycle of negativity. And I think at this point, people are starting to realize we're so much more than that.
We are so much more.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, there's so much more to us. We're so much better than that as well. So this music, I'm like very proud of it, from the production to the way the album is put together.
And you said you like took things from nature, for example.
Yes.
Sounds.
Yes. So you literally are learning about natural science. In this album, you listen to it, I'm literally taking you from learning what it's like to be an atom, that's a song I was rapping earlier, to going to the bottom of the ocean, the layers of the ocean, to learning what it's like to travel through space as a light wave. And you're hearing the sound effects from ocean sounds, like quasars, all these different sound effects really put you in to this new world. And it's an experience. I love it. And it's bars. Like, I'm really spitting real bars on there.
Well, speaking of spitting bars, can you spit a little bit more?
Yes, I can. Let's see.
Yeah. Now, you must be good. Just offhand, and you can do that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
OG told me, stay ready. You don't got to get ready. You know? I said, the streets ain't paved with gold around here. Gotta get it how you live. In a minute that it's here, it could all disappear if you don't understand the gift we've been given. Put us on a different type of mission. Gotta understand the melanin. I am more than my skin tone. Open up your eyelids. You can see the melanin in my iris. See, this the type of rhythm that we been on, and this is why I've been gone. Melanated mentality. My pineal gland had me here cooking up for centuries, and now you get to witness the climax when I rap. See, I tap into the higher power. We shall not be moved, they get devoured. No ceiling, no roof, victory's ours. Now we leading the exodus. Fist bumping, bass knocking, tell them catch me if you can.
Wonderful. Like I said, you can do that right off, and you can turn your phone off and keep rapping at the same time.
It's at this point, it's second nature. You know, we move. We gotta just stay agile.
I want to use the last few minutes of the show for you to tell us about the program once more, the one that's coming up. Tell us about that one more time, and also give us the name of the album CD. One more time. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So yes, Saturday, August the 10th. We are steaming the block, Steam the Block Party at the Entertainment and Sports Arena. We'll be there from 12 to 5. Live music, entertainment.
And you'll be performing.
I'll be performing live, Mr. IMAG, the Steam MC. Shout out to UCB, legendary go-go band. Shout out to Entity, Uptown XO, Pinky. Shout out to our host, Chardell Moore. We got an amazing show, and then there's STEAM competitions, right?
Oh,
You
okay.
can win prizes for doing some of the things you love to do, like making beats, like taking pictures. There's a pitch competition if you got a business idea. Tons of stuff for everybody to get involved with, and it's absolutely free. This is something that Swaliga is doing to connect all of the businesses, engineering and tech companies, schools. All of these people will be in one place, feeding and giving resources to our kids. So we're super excited. It's gonna be a blast. Like, it's gonna be a fun day. And that same day, my new album is dropping, Steam the Block.
Wow, the same day.
Same day. It's a celebration. Steam the Block, Book of Nature will be available finally. People can check it out. This album is like next level. I love music that you can listen to and get smarter. How does that sound?
Yeah. Because some of it can make you dumber as you keep listening.
Literally.
Really?
Literally. You could lose some brain cells listening to some of this other stuff. But I digress. We're super excited about it. And I encourage people, parents, anybody that's watching or listening to this, if you have a kid or you know a kid that you think would benefit from receiving information through the arts, through STEAM education, whether they are interested in science or not, this is something that can help them with brain health. We always say this is about wellness. This is about increasing brain chemistry and kind of breaking down some of those stereotypes that they face in school and otherwise. And our program is designed to include health and wellness as a key part of just kind of helping them to level up and deal with what we have to deal with in this world.
And Lamont, it is so true that it is about brain health.
Yes.
It really is. And when you're just pumping those positive messages, those positive images into children, they can just go anywhere. They can do everything.
It builds up a certain confidence that they take with them, for sure. And we're very intentional about it. From the music that we play, so like my album, for example, most of it is 432 hertz. Now, if you know about science and energy, that's a very relaxing, natural frequency to the body. So there's music that can really help you feel good, right? And put you in a good mood. And there's other music that can stress you out or have you with cognitive dissonance. So like all of these things are intentional when we talk about our health and when we talk about wellness and what type of tools we're feeding into our young people. So we're super excited. We encourage everybody to tap into Swaliga Foundation, get involved with us, and continue to help us with this important work.
And you're looking for children. What ages are we talking about?
This is for K through 12. So we have learners as young as 5, as old as 18. Our program goes K through 12.
And of course, as we mentioned earlier, I want the girls to really know that this is for them too.
This is for them. The girls are rocking it right now. Like we got so many girls, and professionally as well. So this is for everybody. Everybody is welcome to be a part of this program.
Now, do you have a short thing that you can take us out with?
I do, yes.
If you got 40 seconds.
So connect with us at swaligafoundation.org. That's SWALIGA.
I'm talking about spitting a beat.
Oh, you talking about bars. You talking about bars.
And we'll put your information at the end of the program so everybody can get in contact with you.
Got you.
But if you can take these last 30 seconds to take us out.
You talking about bars. Okay, I'll give you this. So one of the things that we do, because young people are going to be watching all around the world, we say Swaliga, baby. So I'm going to get you to say it with me this time.
Okay.
It's like a call and response, all right?
Okay.
If you rocking with the tribe, say Swaliga, baby.
Swaliga, baby.
Perfect. Yeah, see? That's what we talking about.
Thank you, Lamont. It's been a pleasure with the Swaliga Foundation, and I wish you much luck with your album as well. It's going to be a grand success, I promise that. You've been watching the Sisters for Fitness Wellness Show. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant.